Solutions are always simple. What we need is a higher perspective. As I said, a happy marriage is about three things: memories of togetherness, forgiveness of mistakes, and a promise to never give up on each other. Now, in today's video, we will discuss what if you are fed up with your fights and you have decided to separate, and now you are not sure whether it's a right decision or not. You are planning to separate as you feel there is nothing good left in a relationship or this friendship. All you do is fight and stay upset, or you just try to avoid getting each other. We have learned that there is always going to be some disharmony and there is always going to be some harmony in all relationships. So remembering that can help you fight the dark powers of negativity bias. We are born with this bias, because of which the negativity, the bad, the disharmony becomes much more prominent in perception, which may lead to feeling that there is just disharmony and nothing else. So remembering that there is going to be both good times and bad times, aim for a complete view of the relationship. Force yourself to look at the relationship in totality. When you think of the person, if the image is too simple or just one worded, like he is just negative, she is just indifferent, he is just over the top, then the image is incomplete and very untrue. We are a complex being with complex relationship. So if I ask you what you think of the person or relationship, your answer has to be like, here are some good things, here are some neutral things, and here are some negative things that we would be in an ideal start. That would be an ideal start. So always strive for more and more of a truthful image, a complete image, which can help you make the right decision. If you remember to see the whole picture, the good and the bad, in your tough times during conflict, your attitude towards that problem, your attitude towards that person will be softer, kinder, and in a way encompassing a better truth. So make the effort to develop and sustain a complete view, and you don't have to stop there. You can go a step further. You can enhance the positive, make it more powerful without changing anyone, just through the right perspective. It is like you can shift from a negativity bias to a positivity bias. There is no challenge strong enough to destroy your marriage as long as both are willing to stop fighting against each other and start fighting for each other. Who knows the reality? We are going to make errors anyway. So it's better to err on the side of the positive. The problem with our mind is that we adapt to happiness very soon. Meaning, what made us happy initially now becomes normal and just taken for granted. Let me explain with an example. If you are a singer or a performer, and the first time your spouse showed up at your performance, you felt so happy. You felt blessed to have such a spouse. You felt he's there for me. But after the 5th time, it just comes along, and then after the 10th time, instead of it giving you happiness, it becomes your basic expectation. And when it does not happen, it can now cause disappointment. He didn't come for my performance. Don't let this adaptation happen, or I should say maladaptation, to take place. It's taking away so much positivity. So try to continue to feel blessed and grateful. Even the 50th time when your spouse shows up to your performance, or when your wife cooks your dinner every single day. When your boyfriend picks you up from your house or anything, and there are so many more. How can you enhance the positive which can be learned? You can't just give up on someone because the situation is not ideal. Great relationships are not great because they have no problems. They are great because both people care enough about the other person to find a way to make it work. And this is a positive perspective to the entire situation. Another problem is you are now done with the person. Enough is enough. You can't take this anymore. You feel like leaving them and just finding someone else. So when you absorb the fact that there is always going to be both good and the bad times, you understand that a large part of the problem is how we humans are designed, how our interactions are designed by nature. and you take a lot of blame away from a friend or your partner that you are dealing with. Conflict is meant to be. The problem is also with life itself and not just with this person. This way you become more accepting and tolerating. You won't give up too quickly, at least not in the hope of someone perfect. You will know in advance that even if I leave the person right here, there will be some disharmony with the next person and the next one as well. It is inevitable, so let's not pull the plug too quickly. When you want to charge your phone battery and you plugged in a socket and you don't see any signs of charging, you wait and try for some time before looking at another socket, right? Let's not put all the blame on the person. Let's take some of it and put it on the nature of life itself. Like if a child is crying, you think, well, that's how nature made children. They cry. But when an adult acts dumb, why don't you say, well, that's how nature made adults. They act dumb sometimes. Now you might have to come to a point where you actually are thinking about breaking up. You can't seem to decide whether you should cut off or break up. Would it be the right decision, or would you look at it? Or how would you look at it? This decision is obviously never easy, but knowing the reality of what we discuss can bring you a framework to think. As mentioned earlier several times, each relationship will have a good happy moments and moments that are painful. We agree on that hopefully. So ideally a good time to break up or find new friends would be after considering the following things. First, when the disharmony or negative part is clearly inconsistently bigger than the harmony or the positive part. Like grilled sandwich is good, but you have to eat it sitting over the hot grill. Second, when you have strong, well-explored evidence that the percentage of negative in your relationship is significantly higher than the negative percentage on an average in relationship there in the society. Third, when you are sure that you have honestly made due effort to fix the relationship, but things are not getting better, there is no clear time limit or effort as to how long or how hard you should try before giving up. But if you don't even see the intention of change, then it could be a time to give up and move on. That is, if the first 2 points are also true, see the decision of cutting off or moving on is the trickiest one. You have to constantly evaluate the positive and the negative balance, and it is the problem within myself or the other person. Your ways of influence, how you are trying to change others, and the outcome of influence, whether others seems to change or not. And in some cases, also evaluate the lost opportunities while you try. For example, if you are just stuck with the wrong group of friends out of loyalty, you are probably missing out on much higher harmony with a different set of friends. So you need to evaluate that as well. And also, how sure are you that in the next set of friends or in the next girlfriend or a boyfriend, the ratio of harmony to disharmony will be higher. So before you give up, try to have an answer for all the things I have just mentioned. But in case you need a conciliator or a counselor who can be neutral for both sides and can resolve your conflict, then do not hesitate to seek professional help. I can also help you resolve your conflict with a better perspective. You know a little bit more about relationship. My next video is on what if you are already separated and now feeling vacuum or void. Continue to watch, like and subscribe for such learning videos. Till we meet next, light and fragrance to all of you.